Look, be honest with me for a second. Have you ever had this weird feeling where you're doing everything right with money, but somehow you're still broke, like you have a job? Your paycheck hits your account every 2 weeks. You pay rent, you pay bills, you maybe even invest a little. And yet, at the end of every month, your bank balance is basically screaming for help. You're not reckless. You're not stupid. You're not blowing money on yachts or private jets. But somehow, it still feels like you're running in place. Here's the uncomfortable question most people never ask. What if the problem isn't you, but the financial system you're trapped inside? Because today, I want to show you a $10 trillion financial system that quietly extracts money from everyday people, and almost nobody ever explains how it actually works. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. My name is Ellis, and I spend way too much time thinking about how money actually moves through the economy. If you're someone who works hard, earns income, and still feels like wealth keeps slipping just out of reach, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Because what we're about to break down is not taught in school, not explained by banks, and definitely not advertised by financial institutions. Here's the thing. Most of us were taught the exact same formula growing up. Work hard, save your money, invest what's left, eventually get rich. It sounds clean, it sounds logical, and honestly it sounds fair. But if that formula actually worked the way we're told it does, we'd see very different results. Because here's the uncomfortable reality. Over 60% of Americans are living paycheck to paycheck, and most of them have jobs. The average household carries well over $100,000 in total debt once you add up mortgages, car loans, credit cards, student loans, and personal loans. And somehow, even as productivity and technology keep exploding, wealth keeps concentrating at the very top. So the question becomes, what's going on? This is where it gets really interesting. Because the system isn't primarily designed to help you build wealth, it's designed to monetize your behavior. When I say the $10 trillion financial system, I'm not talking about the stock market. I'm not talking about crypto. And I'm not talking about real estate. I'm talking about the consumer credit, interest, and payment extraction system. That includes credit cards, auto loans, student loans, mortgages, buy now, pay later, overdraft fees, late fees, interest spreads, payment processing. In the US alone, household debt now exceeds $17 trillion. But here's what most people miss. It's not just the debt itself, it's the cash flow generated by that debt. Interest, fees, penalties, friction. Globally, over time, that cash flow adds up to trillions of dollars, moving upward every decade. Not through taxes, not through scams, not through fraud, through perfectly legal financial design. Banks don't make most of their money from investing. They make money from you being slightly uncomfortable financially. Because someone who is calm, cash-rich, debt-free, isn't very profitable, but someone who is slightly stressed, slightly short, always juggling payments is extremely profitable. That person pays interest. That person pays fees. That person makes decisions under pressure. And that's not a conspiracy. That's a business model. The system doesn't need you to fail completely. It just needs you to stay one step behind forever. And once you understand that, the entire money game starts to look very different. The psychology of debt, why it works so well. Let's talk psychology for a second. Because money problems usually don't start with math. They start with how the human brain is wired. Here's the thing. Your brain is optimized for short-term relief, not long-term optimization. So when you see offers like 0% for 12 months minimum payment, $35 buy now, pay later, your brain doesn't hear risk. Your brain hears, this fixes my problem today. And that feels good. Relieving stress right now releases dopamine. Waiting for a better long-term outcome doesn't. What your brain does not automatically calculate is compounding interest opportunity. Cost behavioral lock-in, and that's not an accident. The system is designed so the pain is delayed, while the relief is immediate. Real math example, the credit card trap. Let's put real numbers on this. Say you put $5,000 on a credit card at 22% APR. Nothing crazy. Just one emergency, one repair, one rough month. If you only make the minimum payment, you'll pay over $6,500 in interest. It can take 15 years or more to fully pay it off, so you didn't buy $5,000 worth of stuff. You bought $5,000 worth of stuff and paid about $11,500 total. Now here's where it gets really interesting. That same $5,000, invested at a modest 8% annual return over 15 years, it grows to over $. Actionable shift number 1. Reclaim cash flow, whereas something you can do immediately, and this is where most people get it backwards. Instead of asking, how do I invest more money? Ask a better question. Which monthly payments are stealing my future compounding? Because investing more is hard. Reclaiming cash flow is often easy. Start by auditing 3 things: first, high interest debt, credit cards, personal loans, anything charging double-digit interest. That interest isn't just a cost, it's negative compounding working against you. Second, fees you forgot about, bank fees, app fees, platform fees, convenience fees, small numbers, repeated monthly, quietly draining momentum. Third, subscriptions you don't actually use, streaming, software, memberships you meant to cancel months ago. They feel harmless because they're small, but they're permanent. Now here's the part most people underestimate.